Hey, so Swamp Thing aired on the DC Universe streaming service, and I just got done watching the first episode, Justin, as I literally just watched it, and I came in here to instantly film my review. I have some notes written down here on my phone. They're in no particular order. It's like they're all over the place here. I've notes all over the place here. So yeah, I'm going to talk about. Before I get into this review, before I start talking about my thoughts on this first episode, I want to start by saying I did not expect to see Swamp Thing in the first episode, because I feel like you should start off with a character introduction, and then there should be some character development leading up to him becoming Swamp Thing. You should not just start off an episode with him becoming full Swamp Thing. So I was glad they did not go in that direction of him just going full Swamp Thing. I was good about that, because this episode there's actually a progression. You learn about his character, and his character is actually probably one of the most interesting characters in this show, along with Dr. Abby. What is her last name? Dr. Abby Arcane. So Dr. Abby Arcane and Alec are two of the most interesting characters in this first episode. There's also a police officer that's introduced. He's like a high school friend, and there's this reunion scene, and there's this entire investigation scene in this house. I want to start off by talking about the characters. So like I said, our two main characters here are Dr. Abby and Alec. So basically, these two people, they're basically scientists. They're obsessed with this virus. They want to find a cure for this virus, because it's gone all over the city. People are getting sick, people are dying, people are getting infected. This entire city has gone to shit because of this virus. And basically what Dr. Abby and Alec are there for is they're trying to find the cure along with finding the cure, they're also investigating the disappearance of someone's father. So there's a progression. And when we were introduced to Dr. Abby in the after the opening titles happened, I found Dr. Abby's character actually very interesting. I got on her side, and she's she wants to find a cure to help all these sick people, because it's horrible what's happening to them, and yet she wants to find a cure. So I really went to her side, and that's why she's one of the most relatable and likable characters in this first episode. Dr. Abby and Alec. They're two of the most interesting characters in this first episode. I want to talk about Alec, which he's living in the swamp. He has this house that's in the middle of the swamp, and he's he's collecting DNA from all these vines and all that. He's trying to find a cure for it as well, and he's been on this trial as well. He's been following all the crime scenes, all the investigations, and he's been trying to find a cure and figure out what the hell is happening. Why are people suddenly dying all around us? What is happening? Why are people getting sick? So Alec, I think, is a really interesting character. He has a really interesting life, just his work and how he wants to help people. It's like I said, that's why Dr. Abby and Alec because you can see where they're coming from. You can see their motive is they just want to help this little girl that is sick, and they want to help everybody that is just sick here, because this virus, because if they don't do anything about it, this virus will basically just spread and continue to kill people. So yeah, that's why I think this, like I said, there's so much to their characters that it is spread over this hour of an episode. But yeah, that's why Dr. Abby is such a great character. The first point I did actually have written down was the opening scene. Before I get into the opening scene, I want to say that this show is so dark. Lighting from the tone in that opening scene, that it feels very dark. It feels very gritty, and the lighting, it's I have to give massive props to the lighting people, because they did a terrific effort of lighting this set and this swamp. Swamp looks absolutely amazing in this. If you were to break down the swamp, there is so much greatness just to the tone, to the lighting of the swamp. It just looks all like, I'm not sure if this first episode, I'm not sure if they actually shot in an actual swamp, but it looks so damn good. It feels like a lived in environment. It feels dirty. It feels like an environment you do not want to be lived in. And it's like I cannot give enough props to the lighting people here. They did such a terrific job of lighting the swamp and all that. It looks absolutely terrific. So yeah, basically the opening scenes, basically there's these three fishermen. They basically got to the swamp, and then there's these vines that just started attacking them. And one of the people get like stabbed through the back with it, and it's a really bloody opening scene. Depends, I guess, how you define bloody, but it's a really gruesome opening scene. It's a great scene that really introduces this situation. It really sets up the storyline of these vines and why people are suddenly getting sick and why they're getting killed like left and right. And a lot of the episode is actually dedicated to that opening scene and the investigation of what those people were trying to do, because apparently they were trying to track or set a bomb so they would destroy all the vines. So there's a lot of science also in this show as well. It wasn't always it's so hard to keep up with all the characters, dialogue and all that. So yeah, the next point I have written down here is the virus, which I basically already talked about. It's a city worldwide thing. If you get it, basically it's a really horrible thing. What happens to you, like, it kill you, it infects you, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and you get really, really sick. So yeah, the virus, it plays a big part in the creation, in the transformation of Swamp Thing, which I will get to. I basically talked about all the characters. Okay, I'll move on to the ending, because that's the other point I have here. I'm sorry, this review is very brief. I only wrote down a couple of notes. So yeah, the ending. This is one of those whoa, and you just sit back and sit whoa, because all throughout this episode, also, yeah, before my brain's all over the place here. Before I actually skip to that ending, I want to also say something about Dr. Abby and Alec. Is that these two have great chemistry, because they have both the same motive, and there's some great chemistry with them. You can definitely tell that they want to do the right thing here. They share the same interest, and yeah, there's some really great chemistry between those two in this episode. But I'll talk about the ending. So the ending is basically Alec goes out to the swamp, and he goes to research and investigate the crime scene that happened in the opening scene, to really investigate what is happening to this town, why this virus is still spreading and all that. So yeah, he goes to do that, and he finds this glowing, I don't know, what is it? It's not a bomb. It's like a tracker of sorts. And yeah, he picks it up out of the water, and then suddenly okay, before I get to that part, for this entire episode, Alec is the main character here alongside Dr. Abby. You think Alec is our second main lead here, but then suddenly that ending just tricks you. It's basically the element of surprise, that ending, and Alec he gets shot through the chest with 2 eyes, and at that point I was just wait, what? What just happened? What just happened? Whoa! I literally just sat up in myself. I was just whoa! That is a very bold move at what they just did there, but it sets up for a great ending. Which so yeah, once he gets shot through the chest, he goes into the water, and he swims to land, and all the vines start covering him, which that scene right there is it's such a strong scene, because it's the transformation of Swamp Thing. Just the way that scene is directed, it's so strong. It's such a strong scene for the characters in that scene, or for Alex's character. It's such a strong scene, and just the way it's shot, the way it's directed. It's all shot beautifully. It's directed beautifully, and like I said, there's some really impressive lighting in this episode. But yeah, just that entire transformation scene that basically takes place underwater. Like you see the vines, covering his body slowly, and it's and then the next time you see him, he's basically Swamp Thing, and it leaves you on this cliffhanger with him as Swamp Thing walking out of the water, showing Dr. Abby like he is Swamp Thing now, but Dr. Abby does not know that. Like she's all freaked out, and she's basically running for her life because she just saw this creature walk, and she thinks this creature is coming after her, but what she does not know is that creature is actually Alec. And like I said, like that ending is a very bold ending. It takes you so by surprise. Like I did not expect Alec to die, because I'm not like a huge fan. I mean, I'm definitely a huge fan of the Swamp Thing character. I've always found him very interesting. So yeah, that ending, it really caught me by surprise. I literally just dropped a message on like, whoa, what did I just see? It's like that ending, like I said, it surprised the absolute hell out of me. I did not expect him to get shot in the chest. Like halfway through the episode, like I did predict that Alec was going to be Swamp Thing, because it was just kind of very obvious, just like his addiction with the virus and all that, and just his addiction with science and trying to find a cure for this virus. I was just like, he could be Swamp Thing, because and he's like very interested in trying to find a cure. That I was at a point, I was just like, this guy could maybe be Swamp Thing, but I could not 100% confirm it. So when that ending happened, I literally just was just like, whoa, that's a very bold ending. But just that entire ending, it is directed so perfectly and shot so perfectly. Just like so that transformation scene of Swamp Thing is directed so beautifully and shot so beautifully. It's such a strong scene as well, because you're finally seeing the transformation of the Swamp Thing creature. Second episode, like there'll be like that the mystery of who is the Swamp Thing and what happened to Alec. I feel like that's what Dr. Abby's character will be like. She'll be wondering, wait, what happened to Alec that night? Did he die? And then I bet at the end of that episode, she will find out, like there'll be this like romance, because that's in the comic, is Dr. Abby and Alec to have this romance, saying that love will be alive forever. So I think towards the end, like Alec will show himself to Dr. Abby. So that's why I feel like will happen in episode 2, or that could happen like later on in the season. But yeah, like I said, that ending is just like I said, I cannot talk enough about how much I enjoyed that ending. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of science involved in this show as well. So like I said, there's a lot of great scenes in this episode. One of my favorites is I really like that house scene. Is like when the cop and Dr. Abby Arcane, they investigate the house, and like just like that scene. It's basically this cop, he has not, like they were high school friends, now they're meeting up again in the worst circumstances to investigate this house that has been like, not, think of everything from this episode, because like I said, I only wrote a few notes down just to talk about for this review. But yeah, this was a show I was super excited for, and episode 1, like I said, I had high expectations. One thing I think is a very great show, like I said, was basically right from that opening scene, it grabbed my attention. Like that, probably like the first minute of this show, just instantly just grabbed my attention. I was invested in this show throughout the whole entire hour, and I cannot wait to see the second episode of this show, because this show is so damn good, and I freaking love it. This is probably one of the best shows I've seen in a while, and we're only on the first episode, which is crazy. I cannot wait to see what they do with the Swamp Thing character throughout this season. So anyways, guys, if you have seen the Swamp Thing episode 1, pop down to the comments and let me know what you all thought of episode 1 of Swamp Thing. I'm curious now, did you like this episode? Did you think it was meh, or did you think it was just plain out awful? Pop down to the comments and let me know your thoughts on episode 1 of Swamp Thing. Until then, guys, I guess I'll see you in the next video. Okay, so I was just editing my Swamp Thing review and I forgot to mention this. I do not know how this slipped my mind when recording this review earlier. I did not know how it slips my mind, because it's in my mind one of the best scenes in this episode. I guess it just slipped my mind at the last second. I was going to mention it, but I'm glad editing is a thing, because I would not want to, re-record this entire thing again. So I'm glad editing is a thing, and I can just go and re-record it into the review. But yeah, there's this hospital scene. There's Alec and Dr. Abby, and they're in the hospital, and there's this dead body behind that just like leans up, because like the virus, you in this scene, you basically get to see what the virus does to people, and you get to see how horrible it actually is. And you see this this dead body lay up that has been infected by the virus. The body just lies up, and it's a really gruesome scene actually. His mouth breaks in half, and you see the virus just basically attack. You basically see the virus attack Dr. Abby, and it's a really great scene. And that's the first real scene when you really get to see what this virus does to people and how serious and horrible it actually is. But yeah, I thought that whole scene that took place in the hospital with that dead body, I thought the scene was in the trailer, I thought it was pulled off perfectly. There's a lot of horror elements in just that one scene, and I loved every second of that scene, and it's one of my favorite scenes in this episode. But yeah, anyways, guys, I thought I would just record that, that last little bit in, because I just finished editing the review, and then I was just like, oh shit, I forgot to mention this. I thought, yeah, why not go re-record it back into the video. So yeah, anyways, guys, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So until next time.